Right, let's return now to Dan Bourchier, who's at the Garma Festival for Weekend Breakfast in Arnhem Land. And Dan, one of the beautiful things about the Garma Festival is, of course, there are these very important, very significant discussions happening, but also it's this real coming together of culture and a real celebration of culture as well.
It certainly is, and you get that sense that this is about sharing, about storytelling, about having a greater understanding of each other, bringing each other together as well. And a part of that is getting to catch up, connect with old friends and making new friends, including some of the movers and shakers in business, media, arts, politics. There's a whole congregation here of people that have just come together to have conversations and to look to the future. One of those is MUNDANARA Bayles, who's the CEO of Black Card, also a podcast maker, an expert communicator, and she's here. Good morning, welcome to Weekend Breakfast.
Well, I'm going to say Wadamuli, which is my father's language, so greetings, and also just say that's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to be on the lands of the Gurmich people, so I pay my respects to their elders past and present.
Yeah, thank you. I echo that, and we've been doing the same this morning as we are gathering here on this land of the Gurmich people of the Yolngu tribe. What does Garma mean to you?
It means I've got all these mixed emotions. Every day you wake up and there's a program that's jam-packed, but I miss half of the program because I'm connecting with people that I saw in 2019 when I was first here, but people that I've been wanting to meet and I haven't been able to meet because of COVID and being on Zoom. So this event not only means reconnecting, but it's also an opportunity to just sit. Like, this is a remote part of Australia. It's ancient lands, and I feel rejuvenated. I come here and just absolutely feel like I can go back to the city and do what I do every other day. So yeah.
How good does it feel to be able to reconnect? Since 2019, we haven't been able to meet in this way because of the obvious precautions around COVID. How does it feel to be back now?
But it feels like we still know each other, even through Zoom meetings and Teams. 80% of the people that I've seen in the last 2 days, I've had on Zoom meetings. So it's like these big hugs, and then I'm like, hold a minute, do we know each other? And they're like, sorry, we'll fist bump. So it's a really good thing. But not only that, we're engaging with, in terms of my clients at Black Card, I'm engaging with people that have now had, they're more immersed in Aboriginal affairs, like what's happening, who's speaking. Marcia Langton spoke yesterday about curriculum in education. We heard the Prime Minister speak. So like, the people that I'm working with now, it's like they've had a deeper dive in understanding the current issues. They're not all issues, but also some of the changes and the progress that we've made as a nation.
And I just want to note that viewers might be able to hear clapping behind us. There's a cultural forum going on, people yarning, sitting around the campfire. That I know that you've been very active in those conversations. We'll get to the politics in a moment. Black Card, for anyone who's not familiar with it, what is it? What is it all about?
Black Card? So in Queensland, you go to working with children's card. It's called a blue card. So we came up with the Black Card about 10 years ago, and it's a business that I set up with my grandmother's sister, who's 85 this year. So big shout out to Aunt Lilla, she's a big ABC fan. So Black Card is about how do we educate all people living in this country about the tens of thousands of years of knowledge that comes directly from this land. So we're educating people about Aboriginal terms of reference, or we call it cultural capability training, which every corporate, government, organisation, everybody's looking at other ways of engaging with not just First Nations peoples, but any of the 300 different nationalities that live in Australia. And
as well as that, you have become renowned for communicating. You've got a podcast. Tell me about that.
Okay. So my dad, most people, he passed 6 years ago, his name was Tiger Bayles, and was a pioneer in Indigenous media. So I grew up in the media, I come from a politically active family, and I studied radio, and when COVID hit, I launched a podcast. I went back to an old skill set, and now it's kind of taken over my life. So Black Magic Woman, if anyone wants to download it, it's a platform where I'm activating not just First Nations voices, but anyone that I see that's making a positive contribution to this country. 80% is about who they are and 20% is about business. So in Aboriginal culture, who you are is much more important than what you do, as you know.
Absolutely, that's a really crucial point. who you are creates the foundation of what you do, of course. The Prime Minister is here, was welcomed with that spectacular ceremony yesterday. Today, we're expecting a speech where we are anticipating that the Prime Minister will detail wording that could be put to the Australian population to vote for referendum and what would go into the Constitution. I'm not sure if you've seen all the detail
A little bit.
What's your initial reaction?
To be honest with you, the ceremony yesterday brought tears to my eyes. And I'm not going to get emotional. We've been waiting, and I'd say my people, First Nations people, have been waiting for a Prime Minister to actually walk with us, listen to us, sit with us, build a relationship with us, and we will have a much more united Australia. So I have high hopes, and I'm much more optimistic than I was with the last Prime Minister. And I think it's so important that we are recognised in this country. We are the oldest living continuous culture, civilisational culture in world history. And all Australians can be part of that. And I think that's what's going to happen, is more Australians will feel included.
And inclusion is so crucial. You talk about the optimism. The other side of that is, of course, the enormous challenge of getting to a vote and then bringing people along. We've heard from Prime Ministers in the past saying this is the pathway. Is there a sense of apprehension as well?
I think, to be honest with you, as a cultural training provider, Black Card, I'm doing the heavy lifting. People are ready. All of the organisations that have reconciliation action plans, their staff are educated, they're committed to the statement from the heart. I think that the population, I'll be really surprised if it doesn't get over, but I think the Australian people are ready.
It's such a powerful point. Hey, thank you so much. Always good to yarn with you, MUNDANARA Bayles.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And the point there that you were just hearing about that appetite, you do get the sense that there is a greater appetite across Australia to have conversations about the very synergy of this place, where the salt water meets the fresh water, about all Australians coming together, and that not being a clash but about being a bigger conversation. So that's what's happening here. We'll bring you the very latest across the ABC News channel here on Weekend Breakfast.
Yeah, so exciting to see what's coming out of the Garma Festival this year. Dan Bourchier will speak to you later on. Thank you.